Hi, welcome to program number 6 of Reading with Bruce. I'm Bruce Dillon, your host, helping you to learn to read better, I hope. And we're actually starting a new book today. We'll be in the Blue Book, which is the second of the 5 Caldwell books. And we're going to kick off today's show with a seasonal song. Before we get to that, though, I do want to make a special thank you to the Elkins Intermountain for the nice article they put in about the show a couple weeks ago. Some of you may have seen that. We're still hoping that people will be telling other people about the show so that the folks who need to watch it or who might want to watch it have heard about it and can be picking it up on Channel 3 WETV. Also, thanks, of course, to the Randolph County Board of Education and Dr. James Ferris for helping us get the facility here. We're recording again at room 204 at Elkins Middle School, and thanks also to my friends here, especially Mr. Carr and Dee Roth, whose room we're using today. So today's song, if we can go ahead and switch over to that, is the traditional New Year's song written by Robert Burns. It's the one most people sing at the stroke of midnight on New Year's, and we'll do it today. And you can look at those words. We have one giant word there, acquaintance, but you've heard it many times, so I like to give you things when I can that you've already heard so you can see what the words look like. So, Robert Burns, the favorite Scottish poet. Most Scottish people revere him. He wrote so many great poems and things, and this is one of the ones he's really noted for. Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot and days of auld lang syne? For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. All right, so that's our song. Let's take a quick look at it here. If we can flip over the next page that has the markings on it, please. And once again, I have circled Caldwell units and I have underlined instant words. So this probably has a few more words that aren't in the instant words or the units because we have this auld and this syne word, which for auld lang syne is Scottish dialect for old bygone times. It's the old days. That's how they say it there. Okay, so they're thinking about the old days and drinking to the memories of those. But still, we have quite a few things. Again, 2 lines means it's in the second 100 words. 3 lines means it's in the third. 1 line means it's one of the first 100 words. All right, so quite a lot of it again. Still, even though this is more of a Scottish song than an American song, is decipherable by us just with our Caldwell units and our instant words. Now, I count that E''LL as an L, which is a unit we haven't had yet, but it is one of the units. And there's an in lang. Kindness has an S, and so forth. So just to give you the idea again that the units and the instant words will help you to decode words. Okay? Let's go ahead over to our other board. Oh, I'm sorry. Exercises. Exercises. My mistake. Time to do our exercises. Once again, I'm going to turn away from the camera and we'll do the lazy 8s. Left hand out and around. I'm only going to do these another time or two because I have another thing that we're going to put in place of them eventually. So I'm going to say we'll do them this week and next. And on week 8, you'll need to do them on your own before the show starts. You should be doing them every day anyhow. And you probably have a pretty good idea now of how they go. And both hands. What's coming up in the not too distant future is I've actually taken the units and I have them going to the music of an old Hawaiian song, and we're going to use that to help get all 44 units into your head. Okay, if we can put up the page with all 44 units, it's right there, that overhead there. And if Jerry can get that, I'll start the cross-crawling. Oh, it just occurred to me, I forgot to do the third exercise on episode 5. I wonder if anybody noticed that. Okay. All right, so here we go with the cross crawl. I'll stand in front for a second. Opposite hand and knee. And I'm going to move off the picture, and Jerry's going to focus on the units there. And Jane's going to point to them as I call them out. Here we go. Able, ack, ale, ain, ake, an, and, art, ation, a. We'll need to move the page up a little bit. Got to get those two bottom ones up a little further. There. Can, cent. Okay, now you got to move it down. E units. Ed, e, l, n, end, ent, s, est. I units. Ik, ite, ike, il, im, ing, ip, ish, ist. O's. O, och, oi, old, oo, or, ound, ow, oi. Finally, I'm sorry, yes, shun and shun. And lastly, and And there are our units. And my apologies from program 5, I forgot to do this exercise. I forgot 2 of them. We forgot the hookups. And today I'm going to do them sitting down for a change. So you can see that it's easy enough to do sitting down. We can do the cross crawl sitting too. But the hookup, right ankle over left, right wrist over left. Link your fingers together. Bring them into your sternum, which is your breastbone. I was just rereading again. This is a very good exercise to do anytime you have to do something stressful. It just helps to automatically calm down your whole system. Take a few deep breaths and relax as I nod off here. Then relax, switch them. Left ankle over right, left wrist over right. Bring your hands in again. And relax. And finally, the fourth one, think of the giant letter X. So you can close your eyes and just think of a great big X. And again, what we're trying to do is get both sides of your brain working with each other to help you to decode those words and to read. Okay. Let's go over to the whiteboard and we'll review our past units and look at our new ones. I'm going to go down the columns actually this time. So our sounds, single letter sounds, mr, s, s, w, w, b, b or b, p, p. Today's new letter is j, j, like in Jerry Gibson. Our digraphs are consonant blends. We have sm, sw, br, pr, sp, spr. No new one this week. Units, ale, an, a, ake, ing, ant, ound, and ick, ain, est. Today's units reminds me of an old kid's poem, Ack and Ill went up the hill. So we're going to have Jack and Jill, okay? Should be easy ones. What happens often, though, is people get the ACK mixed up with the AKE. So remember, AKE sounds like ache, has a long A sound, ack has a short A sound, ah. Sight words, is, the, in, with, into, of, to, on, from, she, girl. New ones today, by, and was. Okay? And now we're ready for lesson 6 in the book. Jane's got it up on the screen already. Can we see the title, though? It's on the other page, please. The title of today's story, Ray's Bran Brick. And Jane's going to read. I'm going to point to the words. Okay, if you can slide it down so they can see the picture just for a second. There's a mill. It says Jill's Flour Mill here. Okay, go up to the text. Okay.
Jill is the girl with the mill by the bay.
And they ask, where is Jill's mill? Look in the sentence. It's by the bay. You need to see the picture just a sec. There we go. Okay, so Jill's sailing. It's like it's raining.
She was sailing around the bend on the bay. The rain was pounding on Jill's sails. Jill was sailing back in the rain.
Question 2. Jill was blank in the rain, and they ask, singing, sailing, or pounding? Look at the first sentence. She was sailing. Would you like to sail in the rain? Maybe you would, but I sure wouldn't. Now here she is running to her flour mill. She doesn't look too well.
Will sailing in the rain make Jill ill? She ran into the mill from the rain with Jack.
Okay, and there are no questions on that page, are there? Wow, a free page. Now you see in the picture, Jill's looking kind of sick, and here's old Ray, the mailman. He shows up all the time. Is the girl sick? Okay, where are you? Okay, we've got it.
Jill was resting by the bran sacks in the mill. Ray brings the mail sacks into the mill from the rain. Is the girl sick, says Ray.
Why do you think Jill is resting? She might just be tired, or maybe she's sick. Let's see what the next page tells us. Okay, she's making a noise. Oh! She doesn't look too well. Here's a character that appeared out of nowhere up there, too.
Jill wails from pain.
I think we need to move that over a little to the left. There we go.
Ray says to Jack, Jill is ill. Was she sailing in the pounding rain? Bring the round pan from the back of the mill.
Question 5. Sailing in the rain makes Jill blank. Sick, sing, or ail? I think she's sick. Question 6. Who discovered that Jill was not feeling well? Well, I think it was Ray the mailman. He's always in the middle of everything. Ray's bringing her something.
Jack brings the pan to Ray. Ray bakes bran in the pan. Jill picks the bran from the pan. Ray bakes bricks, she wails.
So Ray sends Jack for the pan. Who helps Ray with Jill? Well, the only other character is Jack. Ray makes something for Jill. He bakes, there's a new word for us, bran. Jill says Ray makes bricks. It's kind of insulting, Jill, but I guess we'll forgive her. She's not feeling well today. Yeah, there's a picture of something. She's banging the pan and something pops in her mouth.
She bends the round pan on the bran brick. The bran sprays on Jill.
No questions on that page, on it. Here's Happy Jill. Ray's got a little sly wink there.
Jill's pain ends. She says, Ray makes the best bran bricks in the West.
Question 11. Why do you think Jill got better? Guess the bran must have done it. And why do you think Jill says Ray makes the best bran bricks? Presumably because swallowing the piece of bran brick made her better. Notice here with the word Jill. Can we zoom in on that a little bit, Jerry? Okay. We have this little mark here, the apostrophe, which means the pain belonged to Jill. It's called, it shows possession. That's what that apostrophe is there before the S. Whose pain was it? It was Jill's pain. Also here, notice anytime words are spoken, we have these double little marks, quotation marks, and all the words that are said go inside the quotation marks. She says, Ray makes the best bran bricks in the West. That's what those are for. Okay? All right, I think it's time for practice number 6. I'll move over to my board that's already numbered. I hope you got a paper at home. I keep saying I'll slow down and wait. I'm going to count to 3 or 4 today before I put any answers up. I already wrote the units there. Our units are ack and ill. And Jane's going to read the questions. That's the page right there.
Spell pack.
Okay, spell pack. P-ack. P-ack. Pack.
Change one letter to spell rack.
Rack. Ack. Ack. Rack.
Change one letter to spell sack.
Again, I'm going to change that beginning sound. S. S. Ack.
Spell Jill.
Well, this was all through the story. J, ill. Here's my ill unit. J, our new letter is J, and it has to be a capital J because it's a name.
Change a letter to spell mill.
Mill, I'm changing the beginning sound. Mill.
Change a letter to spell bill.
Bill. Now, this could be a person's name or it could be something that arrives in the mail. I'm going to say it's a name, so again I have to have a capital letter, capital B, in my ill unit.
Spell willing.
All right, now this is one of our review units. We have the ing unit. We already have the ill unit, and we want the beginning sound wa. There's wa, ill, ing, and the word is willing.
Spell spraining.
Ooh, okay. So we want the spr blend. 3 letters, sp-er, spr. Got to go find my ain unit, which is right there. Ain, and then ing, which is right up above. Spraining. 9 letters. 9-letter words now with the Caldwell units and the blends.
Spell by.
That was one of our new sight words. It's over there on the board. 2 letters. Now there are actually 3 ways to spell by. This by means beside. If you add an E on the end, B-Y-E, it means goodbye, see you later. And if you put a U in the middle, get rid of the E, B-U-Y, is to purchase something. They're called homonyms. Sound alike, spelled differently, have different meanings. Number 10?
Spell was.
Was starts with the W sound. And a lot of people who are dyslexic often reverse it and spell S-A-W, which is saw. But remember, the beginning sound is W, was. Number 11?
Write the letter of the last sound in Jack.
Jack. K. 12?
Write the letter of the last sound in will.
Will. Oh. Your 3 seconds is up. You should have an L.
Write the letter of the first sound in spilling.
Spilling. Spilling. Should have an S.
Write the letter of the first sound in brains.
Brains. Brains. B. B. Should have A, B.
Write the letter of the middle sound in spend.
Spend. Now I've got spends. Let's get the sound. S, P, E, N, D. Broke it up into 5 sounds, so the third sound would be the middle sound. S, P, E. Short E.
Write a word that rhymes with sack and rack.
Well, here's sack and rack, and my third word is pack.
Write a word that rhymes with Jill and Bill.
Here's Jill, here's Bill, and in the middle we have mill.
Write a word that rhymes with training.
Training. Let's take a look now. We had the ack and the ills. Now we have a review words. We got willing and spraining. Which sounds more like training? Willing training, spraining training. I think it's got to be spraining. Good strong rhyme there. 19.
Write the letter that makes no sound in Jake.
Jake. Well, I hear a J, A, K. And then there's a letter on the end that we're not hearing. And it's called silent E. Because Jake is spelled this way, using the ake unit. But we don't hear the E. We don't say Jakey or Jaka. We just say Jake.
Write a 2-syllable word from lesson 6.
Pack, rack, sack, Jill, mill, bill, willing, spraining. I'm going to go with willing. And Jane's got reading tip number 6 right up there on the whiteboard for you.
Read the same story or poem or song over and over to improve your fluency. Repeated readings of the same material can do wonders for the speed and smoothness of your reading. For example, use a stopwatch to time yourself with the 1-page Caldwell lessons.
Okay, and you've got them if you picked them up at the library. So over and over and over and over is what gets you to the success point. You know, that's all there is to it. If we can go ahead and put up the instant words now on the board. Thanks. I'm not even going to review 1 to 50. You should have them down pretty cold by now. We're going to start with number 51 over here, if you would, Jerry. And we're going to go down this column and look at the last 25, which gives us the first 100 words. Half of everything you read. So starting with 51, will, up, other, about, out, many, then, them, these, so, some, her, would, make, and like. Notice these two have that silent E on the end. Make has an ake unit there, and Ike is also a unit, by the way. You don't hear the E. Okay. Him, into, time. Can we move it up? Thank you. Whoa. Okay. Has, look, to, the number 2, more, right, go, and see. Talking about, leave it up there a minute. The word to, R2 is more confusing than in Scotland. In Scotland, they say twa for two, T-W-A, which is easier to understand because this one sounds just like T-O and T-O-O. All right, so the Scots make more sense of it. All right, last column, please. New words, number, know, way, could, and people. My, than, first, water, been. If I remember correctly, oh no, I'm getting mixed up. I was thinking of by. First, water, been. Call, who, oil, now, find. Can we slide up, please? Long, down, day, did, get. Come, made, may, part, and over. Now this come rhymes with some, so you're going to find some rhymes in them. And again, if you get all 100 of these, you have half of everything you read. 50% of everything that's printed in English is one of these words. So that gets you a good distance towards your goal. Okay. Now if we could just put up the unit search page. Yeah, that's it. I've already done it this time, so I'm not going to be circling any units. But this is a good example. You know, these stories that were written by Ed for his program show you the use of the units. It's just all through there. And the words that don't have a unit are sight words. So everything is readable as you go along. I must have done this when I had one of my classes and I was having the kids find the units. But you can, yeah, go ahead and zoom out, Jerry. You can see the whole page. It's just covered with the highlighting to show you how prevalent they are in the stories that Ed wrote for his series. Okay? All right. Let's do make a word for a minute over here at the other board. And you should have this down pretty cold by now if you've been doing it all along. We take our new units, ack and ill, and just go through the alphabet. Back, dak, yak, fack, FG, gack, no, hack. Yeah, there's such a thing as a hack. J, we said that was in our story. Okay, L, lack, and so forth. Go on down to the alphabet, see what words you can make. Ill, bill, dill, short for a pickle. Okay, E, F, fill, G, gill, and so forth. You can make all kinds of new words just by going to the alphabet. You can also mix the new units with all of your blends. All right, and you can get some other words there. All right, so have fun making words at home. I'm not going to go through them all right now because it's better for you to do that on your own. And that takes us to the review the song by writing it over here on the big board. So I'll just do a couple lines with the Palmer method. I forgot to mention last show, I did put in the Elkins Randolph Library copies of the Palmer method letter formation. So you can pick that up if you want, or you can get it off the internet. It's all there. It's all free. There's no cost to it. So we'll just do a little bit here. Auld Lang Syne. Now you notice most people say Zine, but I read in one of my Scottish history books that it's actually pronounced with the S sound, just like it looks. Auld Lang Syne. So We did put up the page that had the units on it, didn't we, for this?
Yeah.
Because acquaintance is a big word, but it has several units in it. You got the ain and the an. And you can practice your writing at your leisure at home. Think of it not as work, but as drawing practice. Because this kind of writing, the longhand, cursive, or Palmer method, makes you use both sides of your brain. And that's what we're after, using your whole brain to get those words decoded and figured out. All right? Now we have a little article that Jane and I are going to take turns reading to you about play. And it's one I used to read to my kids all the time in class here at Elkins Middle School. It's one of my favorite little articles. I forget where I found it. I think I found it in a women's magazine. You need to put it on the overhead so I can see it too. Okay.
Why don't you go ahead? I can't see that.
Oh, you can't. Well, can you see it on there?
Not very well.
Oh, okay. Well, can you slide it down some? Okay, that's good. All right. The importance of play. I don't think we're going to point to the words in this. They're too small. Okay. A psychologist named Max Wertheimer once described an adult as a deteriorated child. The reason I think is that children instinctively do something that is absolutely essential to good mental health. They play. Most of us have to relearn how because when we were kids, few people understood that the ability to play is a precious gift. Nobody has to tell a child, or even a puppy for that matter, how to play. It just comes naturally as a way to learn about the world and oneself. It's also the most important avenue to creativity and a sense of well-being. Play for a child is climbing a tree or taking apart a broken watch or sitting in the sandbox humming a tune while making mud pies. It is chasing butterflies or lying on a bed daydreaming, doing something just for the sake of doing it, not to achieve anything. It is responding to curiosity, to wonder, to delight in just being. It is not painting a picture by numbers or trying to be the best pitcher on a Little League team. When we adults feel depressed or tense, it may be because we've forgotten how to play. It isn't really what we do, but the way we do it that counts. If we jog or play tennis or play bridge because it's fun, that's play. But if we do it only to beat somebody or to lose weight or to stay young, that's not play, it's work. Can we slide up? I have never met a great scientist or an artist in whatever field or endeavor who did not understand that the road to the fullest creativity lay not in struggle and hard work, but in having fun. In playing with an idea, a research project, a canvas, or a book manuscript. The people who achieve the most inner satisfaction in daily living are those who are the least grim and determined. I know a man who started playing with clay when he saw how much fun his 4-year-old daughter was having. His daughter is now 30, but he's still playing with clay because he has fun. I also know a learned scientist who flies kites every weekend and a psychiatrist who plays the flute between sessions with patients for the same reason. One of the most important things we can do is to explore what play means to us. It can be cooking, doing needlepoint, playing chess, climbing mountains, camping, sailing, sketching, singing in a chorus, or 1,000 other things. Just thinking about giving ourselves one playful activity every day refreshes the soul. Although we need to work for physical survival, we need to play to make survival worthwhile. It's written by Etta LeShand. It's from Women's Day, Living Better, July 14th, 1981, page 44. So my suggestion to you is with these programs and with this work you're doing, or I shouldn't call it work, I want you to try to think of it not as work, but you're playing with words, playing with sounds, playing with letters to help yourself learn to read. Okay? Playing with the sound of music and the words together. But try to make it your playtime rather than thinking of it as a difficult activity that you have to do. All right? So once again, we want to thank everybody that helped out. Jerry behind the camera, Kevin on sound, my wife Jane on the Elmo, the Elkins Middle School folks, and I wish you a Happy New Year. And I hope you make a resolution to play with words often, because that's how you learn to read. And after a while, reading doesn't become, it's not work anymore, it is just play. It's just fun. So we'll leave you with the same song we started with. Sing along at home if you want, hum along, just talk along. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of auld lang syne? For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. Happy New Year to you and happy reading to you.